Hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you're all well. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make one of these mini beaded seed bead flowers, and it's double-sided. So these are really quick and simple to make, and so once you've made a few you could make them into earrings. You could dangle a few as earrings, or you could link them all together for a bracelet or a necklace. So let's get started. To make one of these flowers you're going to need 2 different colours of size 11 seed beads. This will probably work with size 8 and size 6 as well. I haven't tried it, but it should work the same. So you'll need 1 colour for the middle of your flower and 1 colour for the petals around the outside. You'll also need your beading thread and a beading needle. So I've threaded my needle, and each of the little flowers I use about 25 inches of thread. If you don't like working with a very small piece of thread at the end, then I'd add an extra few inches, so probably about 28 inches. And then we're going to be starting with our centre colour, the colour that you want in the middle of the flower. And please ignore my horrible clashing choices, it's just so that you can see easily on the camera. And you're going to pick up 3 of your middle colour and slide those down, leaving 5 or 6 inches on the tail, and then you're going to sew up through the first bead. So you have this. Now you're going to pick up 2 more of your centre colour. Coming out of this one you're going to go straight into the next one, picking up 2 more of that same colour. Coming out of this one now you're going to go into the next one. And picking up the last 2, that same colour. And we're coming out of this one, we're going to go into this one that the tail's coming out of. So now you have this, and we're coming out of this one here, we're going to step up through the bead above. So this is what it should look like, and you should be coming out of this bead here. Now we'll swap into our colour that you're having for your petals. So pick up 2 of that colour. And coming out of this one, you're going to go straight down into that one next to it. So those 2 beads stack on top like that. Picking up 2 again. This time we're coming out of here, we're going to skip over this one underneath and go up into that next one. Okay. Picking up 2 more. This time we're coming out here and we're going to go straight down into this bead right next to it. So we have this. Now picking up 2, we're coming out of here, skip over this one underneath and go through that next bead. Picking up 2 more, we're coming out of this one, straight down into the next one. And picking up your last 2 of this row, we're coming out of this one, you're going to skip over one, go through the next one and up into that very first purple bead. So skip over one and then go through the next 2 beads, like that. So now you should have this, and it looks like a bit of a funny shape, but it will all come together. Okay, so still working with the outside colour now, so still working with the purple for me. Picking up 2. So I'm coming out of this one and I'm going to go through the next 2 purple, like that. So I've come out of this one I've picked up 2 and gone through the next 2 purple ones on the outside edge. So they stack above, just like that. Now picking up 2 more purple. We're coming out of this one. And we're going to go through, again, the next 2 purple. And just make sure they stack nicely like that. Okay, picking up 2 more. And again, going through the next 2 purple beads. Now picking up 2 again. Same thing, coming out of here, go through the next 2 purple beads. Always make sure that they stack nicely, like that. Going to pick up 2 more, coming out of this one, go through the next 2 purple beads, and last 2 for this row. So we're coming out here, and we're going to go through the next purple bead, like that. Now we're going to step up through these 2 here, so you're going to go up through these 2, so you're on the top row. So now we have this. Okay, so now you can see that we've got these 6 little petals that are starting to grow. So these are going to be the 6 petals. So now we're coming out the top of this first petal. This time we're going to pick up 3 beads, same colour. And we're coming out of this one on this side, you're going to go down through both of these, so down through the 2 on the other side of this petal. So you have this. Now you're coming out the bottom here, you need to move up through the first 2 on this side of the next petal. So we're coming out here, we're moving up through these next 2. Then you're going to do the same, picking up 3 and going down the other side of this petal through the 2. So we have this. Again, you're coming out the bottom of this one, you're going to go up through the next 2 purple beads in the next petal. And then same thing all the way around, so now picking up 3 and going down through the 2 beads on the other side of this petal, like that. Now I'm coming out the bottom here, I'm going to go up through the next 2. Picking up 3 and go down through the 2 on the other side, and then reposition your needle back up through the next 2 in the next petal. Pick up 3 and down through the next 2, and final petal, so up through those 2, picking up 3 and down through the 2 on the other side. So now we have this. You could leave it like this if you wanted to, but I'm going to show you how to make it like this. So it's double-sided. So this is the difference between like single side and double-sided. So we're coming out of the bottom of this purple bead here. I'm going to move through this centre bead, centre colour that's right next to it. Okay, we're coming out there. Now we're going to go down through the centre bead next to the one that we're coming out of now. So we're coming out of this one. Now we're going to move into the one next to it. So the most important thing is that you're exiting out of one of these very middle beads. So I don't know if you can see, but these 3 beads here in this little triangle in the middle, they're the very first 3 beads that we added at the very beginning. So as long as you're coming out of one of those right in the centre, then you'll be fine. I'm going to show you how to do the other side, and I'm actually going to use two different colours, but you need to carry on using the same colours that you were using before. So use the same centre colour and the same colour for your petals. The reason I've changed mine is because this next bit is quite tricky to see, especially on the camera. So I'm using contrasting colour so that you can see like the top layer different to the bottom layer. Otherwise it could get a bit confusing. But working on your own piece, you should be able to see the difference, but just on the camera, it's not very easy to see the contrast if I'm using the same colours again for the top. So picking up two of your centre colour, remember keep yours the same. You're coming out of this one in the middle. So these are your 3 middle beads, so you're going to go straight into the next one in that little triangle in the centre, like that. And what we're doing is we're actually doing all the same steps we did on the first half of it. We're repeating those again, and it's making a double layer. So picking up 2 more of your centre colour, and we're coming out of this one. Skip over those 2, you're going to go into the next one in that centre triangle. And picking up 2 more for this row. So we're coming out of this one. Here. I'm going to go into this last one in the centre triangle, and it's the one that these 2 are connected to. So back through that first one. Like that. Now we have this. So now you need to go up through that first pink bead, or whatever your centre colour is, up through that first one that we added, like that. So it's going to look a bit messy at the minute, but it will all come together. Now you're switching to your outside colour, whatever you're using for your petals. So pick up 2 of those, coming out of this one, go straight down into that next centre colour. So they stack on top like that. Picking up 2 more. Now I'm coming out of this pink one here. I'm going to go into the next of the centre colour. So this next pink one here. Like that. Picking up 2 more of my outer colour. Now I'm coming out of this one, I'm going to go straight down into this one next to it. Make sure they stack nicely, like that. Picking up 2 more of the outer colour. And I'm coming out of this pink one here. I'm going to go up through the next one. Oops. And 2 more of the outer colour. Now I'm coming out of this pink one, I'm going to go straight down through that one next to it. Like that. Now pick up 2 more, and it doesn't look like they're going to fit, but don't worry, when you do the next step it will all straighten out. So I'm coming out of this pink one in the middle, and now I've got to go up through the last pink one, the one right next to it, and up into this blue one above. So I'm coming out of this one, I'm going to go up through the pink one next to it, and then up through the blue one above. So now we have this, and it's all a bit of a jumble at the minute. But like I said, when you do this next row, that really straightens it out. Okay, so just working with your outside colour now. Picking up 2 of that outside colour, and you're coming out of this one, and just like we did in the first half of this piece, you're going to go through the next 2 of your outer colour. So I'm going to go through the next 2 blue beads like that. Which is why I wanted to use a different colour, because if these had all been purple, it's quite tricky for you to see on the camera which layer we're working on. Make sure they stack nicely in place, like that. picking up 2 again. Okay, so now we're coming out of this one. So picking up 2 and going through the next 2 of your petal colour. So I'm going through the next 2 blue beads. Through, and again, always make sure they stack nicely like that. Okay, picking up 2, coming out of here and going through the next 2 blue beads. Just picking up 2, coming out of here and going through the next 2 blue beads. Again, picking up 2 and going through the next 2 blue beads. So this is the last one. So I'm coming out of here, I'm going to go down through the next one because we're at the end of the row. So that I have this. Now I'm coming out the bottom of here, I'm going to move up through the next 2 blue beads in the next petal. Like that. Pull that nice and tight, and now I have this. Obviously it's going to look a lot nicer on your piece because you've got all the same colour. Mine looks a bit of a mess because of all the different colours, but you get the gist. So now what we're going to be doing is at the top of each of these petals on this side, you've got these single beads that sit up at the top. You've got one at the top of each. So make sure you can see those beads before you carry on. So these ones that sit up at the top, we're going to be borrowing them. So turn it over so you can still see those ones that sit up at the top there, look. So we're coming out of this one here, picking up one of your petal colour, and then you're going to go through that top bead on the back. So we'll call this bit we're working on the front and this is the back, so go through that one. Pull that nice and tight. I'm picking up another one. Now you're coming out of this bead here on the back, moving back into the front piece, and you're going to go down through the 2 beads on the other side of that petal. And then pull that nice and tight. And that's joined the 2 halves together, the front and the back. So we're going to move around to the next petal. So we're coming out the bottom of this one here, so you're going to move up through the 2 petal colour in the next one, like that, and do the same thing. So picking up one, going through that one that's sticking up on the back, pull that through, picking up one, and we're coming out this one now on the back. You're going to go down through the 2 on the other half of that petal. Pull that nice and tight, and then reposition your thread up to the top of the next petal. So you're going to keep doing that all the way around until all your petals are joined at the top. So these are all loose at the minute, and keep going until they're all joined like this. So once you've gone all the way around, then that's it really, finished. So this is what it looks like. Obviously yours will look probably a bit more like mine here, where they look a bit nicer when they've got the same colour on the front and the back, I think. Actually, I said at the start that these clashed, but I kind of like these together. So I'll maybe do it now properly with the back the same colour. I think I'm going to join mine all together and make a necklace for my grandma. Like, I'm going to do a lot more and do a really long necklace for her. Let me show you how to tie your knots. So it doesn't matter where you're coming out of, just move your thread back to the top of one of these petals. That's where I usually tie the knots because it's easier to see. So I've got my thread at the top, and then I'm going to take my needle under the thread that connects this bead to this bead on the top. So I don't know if you can see that, but I've put my needle underneath that thread. Pull that through until you've got a small loop, and then go through the loop 2 times with your needle, pulling it down until you feel the knot tighten, and then move away. Never cut your knot never cut your thread next to your knot. Then keep moving away, and then I'll go up and probably tie a knot at the top of each of those so it's secure, and then I'll do the same with my tail thread, and then you're finished. So that's it for this video, so I hope you enjoyed it and you're able to make one of these. So comment down below anything else you'd like to see, and if you enjoyed, like this video and subscribe to see more of my videos. I think these are so cute, so fun and easy and quick to make. As you can see, I've made quite a lot already. So let me know if you make them. Follow me on Instagram at Beadingbyhannah, and I'll probably post a picture of the finished necklace when I've done it over there. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. See you next time. Bye.